you met John Lennon, and this was when they were trying to deport him?
Well, I met John in '72.
Yeah, okay.
Here in New York, after the Beatles. I met John and Yoko when they came to New York. It was, I mean, somehow we just kind of hit it off. We got along well. I don't know why, you know, people always say, how did you get to know John Lennon?
Yeah.
It was the same way I get to know anybody. You say hello and you take it from there. And I remember taking a couple of pictures, and a lot of people were taking pictures of them standing around, and John at one point said, people are always taking our picture. Whatever happens to these pictures, we never see them. And I said, well, I live around the corner from you. I'll show you mine. And he said, well, slip them under the door then, you know. John Lennon represents personal freedom,
right.
You know, very much the same way that the Statue of Liberty, you know, represents personal freedom and the idea of being who you want to be and being free to be that person. In my generation, we wanted to be noticed. We wanted to be free. We wanted to be unique and individual.
Little boxes on the hillside, little boxes made of ticky-tacky.
The first concert that I remember going to when I was junior high school, I think about 13 or so, I saw Pete Seeger. And he did an amazing, fun concert, singing the song Ticky Tacky, or Little Boxes it's called, about, you know, in houses on the hillside. And it's kind of an anti, you know, conformity. It's about people just, you know, all trying to be exactly the same. And he was talking about how people should be independent and free and different.
We're put in boxes, little boxes, all the same. And there's doctors, and there's lawyers, and business.
And then in the newspapers the following week, he was completely attacked, and all the newspapers were shocked and horrified that the school system would allow communists to play in the schools. And I didn't really know what a communist was. I was kind of young. He was talking about people being equal, people being free, people loving one another, people not fighting. And I thought, well, what's wrong with that? I think that a lot can be expressed with music, and that people seem to relate to it, and that they enjoy singing songs, and they enjoy singing songs that mean something. And that's why Pete Seeger and Bob Dylan and a lot of those people were involved in the peace movement and in the civil rights movement, because when people get together and want to express themselves, they often do it with song and with music.
And they're all made out of ticky-tacky, and they all look just the same.
All my life, basically, I voted against somebody. You know, I voted for whoever was like not so bad.
Well,
but
you didn't get a chance
I'm old enough. I'm old enough actually that I told him I almost voted for somebody I believed in, because the first election that I was old enough to vote for a presidential candidate was when Bobby Kennedy was running. Bobby Kennedy I really believed in. It was the first time I listened to a politician. I saw him on TV a couple of times. I saw him in person once, and I absolutely believed him. I thought he was a great leader. And I think a leader can't give you anything. A leader is someone who directs you to get it yourself.
Do you remember Election Day?
You know, going to vote and seeing other people come out to vote, and actually the first thing was just walking out in the morning and seeing the line that went out to the sidewalk. It was obvious from the first early morning that this was different, that this was special, that something that was going on. I was like, oh my God, this guy's really going to win. And that was really moving, you know, to realize that he was going to win.
You may say I'm a dreamer.
I said to my wife, I don't want to be in this bar, I want to be outside, I want to see what's going on in the streets. It was like what I've seen in the movies from World War II, and nothing I've ever experienced in my life. This time it was everybody. It was taxi drivers, it was housewives, it was kids, it was everybody. It was just phenomenal.